Men's swimming and diving returns from winter break to prepare for the A10 championships ahead. I'm Madison Elliott.
Men's and women's basketball teams experience turbulent breaks of their own. I'm Brendan Rigney, and you're watching LaSalle TV's home for Explorer Athletics SportsLine.
Welcome to the first episode of 2015. We got a great one for you, and Eddie Dunn will join us for some exploring headlines.
And later, Jake Smolinski comes on to have his knowledge of LaSalle athletes tested. But first, let's catch up on what went down this past week for the fall athletes. The women's swimming and diving team returned from winter break with their first meet since early December on Saturday, January 17th at Fordham. Competing against the host school in A10 powerhouse Richmond, the Explorers faltered in this tri-meet in the Bronx. Despite losses of 218-81 to Fordham and 209-90 against Richmond, there were some bright spots in this meet. Freshman Emma Smith placed second in the 1,000-yard freestyle with a time of 10 minutes and 27.55 seconds to continue her consistency in the event. Next, junior Kelly Quinn stepped up in the two diving events for the day by placing third on both the 1 and 3 meter boards. The Explorers also grabbed fourth and fifth on the 1 meter with Sydney Zoppo and Paige Frischkorn nailing their dives. The Explorers prepare for the A10 championships, coming up in February, as well as meets at Loyola and UPenn.
That same day, the men's swimming and dive team pulled off a commanding win in the Bronx against Fordham. This victory improved the Explorers' dual record to 5 wins and no losses. Junior Justin Hughes got to the wall first in the 100-yard freestyle for the win, whereas junior teammate Jonathan Cabral took home the victory in the 50-yard freestyle. The Explorers dominated the 100-yard breaststroke, with freshman Dmitry Melandovic finishing first, while junior Johan Roth and sophomore Strahan Jastrovinik took second and third, respectively. The dominance was continued by LaSalle as Fabian Bergman contributed with a first-place finish in the 100-yard backstroke.
The women's track season is in full force for the spring semester. After enough training montages over winter break that would make Rocky Balboa salivate, they headed to Manhattan for their first meet of the new year on Saturday the 7th. Senior Kaylee Solano started things off well, finishing the 800 with a time of 2 minutes and 21 seconds to earn 19th. New York native Tyler was right behind, finishing in 29th in her heat a second later. Fellow statemate Taylor Hackett raced in the 3,000 meter along with Megan Connell, the freshman. Hackett clocked with a time of 10 minutes and 13 seconds, with Connell following 6 seconds after. In the 1 mile, Courtney Kramer and Michelle Myland both raced, finishing with a time of 5 minutes and 37 seconds and 5 minutes and 38 seconds, respectively. The women race again this weekend at the Georgetown Invitational.
The men, meanwhile, had their first meet of 2015 this past Friday, January 16th, at the Gotham Cup meet at the Armory in Manhattan. Freshman Justin Gary placed 18th in the men's 60-meter, while Francis Moncho placed 34th. In the men's 800-meter, Chris Trimble placed 8th with a time of 1 minute and 55 seconds. In the 1 mile, grad student Vince Perozzi clocked in at 4 minutes and 13 seconds, earning him second. Teammate Steven Ladowski followed 7 seconds later to finish in 14th. Bradley Hearer placed 15th in the 300-meter with a time of 8 minutes and 38 seconds, In the men's long jump, Kenneth Worthington placed 16th. They will be seen next on Friday, January 23rd in North Bastida, Maryland for the Georgetown Invitational.
Well, we missed a lot of stuff over break, but we're happy to be back and giving you the latest and all that stuff. Madison, tell me, how excited are you for the rest of the basketball seasons?
I'm pretty excited. I'm pumped. I've been at every game, covering every game, so, watching men grow. I'm pretty excited for the rest of the season. What about you?
I'm not nearly as excited as you, obviously. Okay, well, the men's basketball team roller coasted their own winter break, finishing the period with a record of 6-4. The break started not too far from 20th and Albany as the team traveled to Drexel, where Cleon Roberts led LaSalle to a 65-55 win with his own 15 points. Rohan Brown provided a double-double off the bench with 10 points and 10 rebounds. The team then traveled back home to take on American. Jordan Price's 26 points and second-half buzzer beater were not enough to overcome American, losing 68-66 in overtime. Price would continue his hot streak, however, into the next game, scoring 31 to give the Explorers the road win against Townsend. Price would then score 28 more points in New York as LaSalle took care of Hofstra on the road, 83-74. The Explorers then improved their win streak to 3, led by senior big man Steve Zach, who scored 17 points and grabbed 9 rebounds as LaSalle topped Penn 84-64.
Unfortunately, the winning streak would fall once as A-10 play began, as George Mason topped LaSalle at home 70-62. The team then returned home to take on UMass, where they lost another 71-65 despite 17 points from Cleon Roberts. Next up, the Colonials of George Washington came into Tom Goal Arena on a 6-game winning streak. Thanks to some extensive scouting, the Explorers won 63-50, earning their first A-10 win of the season, behind 20 Jordan Price points. This would not turn into a win streak, however, as the Explorers fell to Dayton Flyers in Ohio 61-50.
Well, the Fordham Rams came to play at the Gola on Saturday the 17th. The Explorers looked to bounce back after a so-so winter break. Wright, Zach, hoping to make the most of their final semester at LaSalle. Team got started quickly, going on a 14-0 run to begin the game. Wright sat in the driver's seat with 7 points of his own, but he wasn't alone in this one. Transfer phenom Jordan Price had some fantastic shooting in the first half, while also scoring in the paint. He would finish the game with 15 points. Cleon Roberts provided his own scoring from beyond the arc, before Eric Pascal of the Rams started to do some scoring of his own. He would score 25 points as the only true catalyst for that Fordham offense. Roberts added another 3 to keep the Explorers comfortable before the second half kind of slowed down a little bit. Amar Stukes would get in some action off of a breakaway, but things slowed even more. One of the most exciting parts of that second half, Steve Zach flew into the sidelines, took out a bunch of head coaches. It was something to watch. The big man just trying to help out his team, Fouls and free throws dominated the game as the clock ticked, with the team hitting 19 of their 29 shots at the line. With a comfortable lead, Coach G thought, what the heck, as he sends in O.J. Lewis and Hank Davis in the closing minutes of the game. Davis had a nice assist to Tony Washington, which is a nice way for him to make the most of his time on the court. And there's your final score, LaSalle winning 60-49.
Take a deep breath there, Brendan. Now, with our last recap of winter break, let's see what the women's basketball team has fared. Starting off slowly, the women's dropped the first post-semester game against rival Villanova 70-36 on December 16th. Next, LaSalle visited Atlanta for the Georgia State Holiday and Hoops Classic on December 19th and 20th, losing to Ohio University 74-63 and winning 76-68 against Georgia State. The team then came home for 2 more wins, first with a 73-59 victory over Fairfield, followed by a 65-62 win over UMBC. On January 4th, the team traveled to Davidson for their A-10 opener, defeating the Wildcats 63-54. However, things turned square for the women's squad as they were dominated by the Fordham Rams, dropping their winter final with a 72-59 score in favor of the Rams.
The team kicked off with some more A-10 play as LaSalle hosted George Mason at the Gola. Patriot Taylor Brown, the conference leader in points per game, ignited the George Mason offense to overcome LaSalle's own. Brown's game-ending buzzer beater helped drop the Explorers 73-71 in their spring debut. Next, LaSalle headed north to the University of UMass on January 15th. First half woes troubled the Blue and Gold as they shot a meager 20% and trailed by 10. Despite the offense's second half turnaround, LaSalle fell to the Minutemen 71-68. Micaiah Owens led the Explorers with 18 points, while Siobhan Beslow and Alicia Cropper added 16 each.
The losing streak extended to 4 on Sunday, January 18th. LaSalle took on the Rhode Island Rams in Kingston and lost by a single point, 55-54 in overtime. The Explorers led for more than 19 minutes in the first half and had success for the first few minutes of half 2. However, a 25-5 run by Rhode Island allowed the Rams to take the lead. LaSalle answered with 7-0 straight of their own to recapture the lead by 1 before URI managed to draw a foul with 2.6 ticks left and tie the game. Both teams struggled to score in 2, with URI outscoring the Explorers 5-4. Amy Griffin led the team with 13 points and 6 rebounds.
Let's make that 5 games in this losing streak. LaSalle hosted St. Louis on January the 21st. The Billikens were relentless, giving the Blue and Gold another agonizing defeat of 76-47. Micaiah Owens led the Explorers with 18 points, and Lisa Minster added a career-high 4 blocks. St. Louis's strong offensive attack and aggressive defense were too much for the Blue and Gold, who were limited to a 31% clip from the field.
That wraps up our game recaps. When we return, Eddie Dunn joins us on the desk for Exploring Headlines. Stay tuned.
Reporter for LTV News.
I'm Corey Meredith. I'm reporter Madison Elliott.
Hello, Brendan Rigney here.
And welcome to LTV News. Let's step back and take a look at the world. I'm here to tell you what's abuzz in Philadelphia.
Let's check it out.
An eclectic mix. I don't think that this tax is the way to do it.
They actually have a little celebration going on, and
I think it's a step in the right direction.
I'm sitting down with my friend and fellow colleague for LaSalle TV, Jacob Smolinski.
We've got Miss Pinup, we've got Mr. Classy Designer.
Polarizing news reporter and political commentator Chris Matthews.
September 28th was a most auspicious day for the 52nd annual Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Finagling his way back into her life is Brendan Rigney, LTV charmer.
Alongside of me, SGA president and dear friend, Muffy Torres.
Groovy. Now let's talk fashion.
Reporter Steve Graham had the opportunity to cover the event.
The talent is evidently here.
Big plans.
So, I don't know, some really great things going on.
Cyberbullying comes in many forms and can happen 24/7. If you or someone you know is a victim of cyberbullying, take preventative and assertive action. Keep evidence and document all instances. Remember to record dates, times, descriptions, and also save and print screenshots. Block your cyberbully and present your evidence to school officials or law enforcement. No one deserves to be a victim of cyberbullying, and together we can end it. For more information, visit stopbullying.com.
I didn't think this could happen to me. I just wanted to feel pretty. I just put my drink down for a second.
I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to fight back.
Welcome back. Now here to join us for Exploring Headlines, Eddie Dunn from LaSalle TV's favorite game show, Q&A. Take it away, Eddie.
Thanks for having me. Let's get to it. Volleyball player Jennifer Whelan has been recognized by both the Philadelphia Inquirer and the A10 for her success both on the court and in the classroom. The senior ended her season with a hitting rate of .257 and achieved a GPA of 3.96 as a nursing major. The Inquirer also celebrated another student for hitting the books. Field hockey senior Colleen Kemp was named to the paper's academic all-area team this past December. The speech pathology major led the team in goals this season while also earning a 3.80 GPA and being named to the A10 academic all-conference team. The men's soccer team saw more attention itself, as 3 players were given accolades for their efforts this season. Seniors Pat Sullivan and George Breslin received honorable mention for the NSCAA Scholar All-Region team. Sullivan made a name for himself this year as a defender while also garnering a GPA of 3.76, whereas Breslin scored a 3.30 and served as the team's midfielder. Not to be outdone on the field, junior Joe Farrell was named to the Midwest All-Region 3rd team yet again, making this his 3rd straight year. How about that, Joe Farrell?
Yeah, besides him, I mean, all the other athletes at LaSalle, it just goes to show how well the school promotes the grades of the athletes.
Absolutely. All right, let's get back to those headlines. After another outstanding year, the women's soccer team has been utterly doused with awards and recognitions. Senior Kerry Aiken earned herself 3 honors herself. The NSCAA named her to the Scholar All-Region team with 3 of her teammates, as well as to the Scholar All-American team, along with fellow senior Kelsey Haycock. Continuing her on-field and classroom successes, Aiken was given academic all-area honors by the Inquirer for her 3.54 GPA, along with teammate Mariam Husseini. The team's offensive star Haycock has also enjoyed some honors after her stellar season. Along with being named to the Scholar All-America team, the senior was given Scholar All-Region honors as well as Academic Performer of the Year by the Philadelphia Inquirer after ending her last semester with a GPA of 3.79. To top it off, Haycock has been included in the ECAC All-Star First Team. Acclaim for the team has even reached the sidelines. Allie Kenny has been named to the Mid-Atlantic Region Assistant Coach of the Year by the NSCAA. Working with the team's defense, Kenny has been present for both Courtney Nemiek's and Kerry Aiken's Defense Player of the Year performances. The assistant coach also won the award back in 2012 when her defense helped propel LaSalle to its first A10 title.
Well, thanks, Eddie. It's time for another commercial break, but stick around. Jake Smolinski will be stopping by for quite the treat.
And later, Audrey Rush will have our pick for this week's marquee matchup. Stay tuned.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life. Somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back. Please welcome Jake Smolinski.
Hey guys.
Good to have you back, Jake. How have you been? How was your winter break?
You know, it was a great break, and ironically, I spent most of my winter break researching and memorizing every person in the LaSalle Athlete Explorer database.
Really?
So, is there something special going on with this next little segment here?
Well, Madison, I think you have the down low on that.
It's kind of funny because we have a challenge for you, Jake. And are you ready to accept the challenge?
Probably not, but we're going to roll with it.
All right, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to play a little game. We're going to have 15 pictures of 15 athletes, and you're going to have to guess who the athlete is based on their picture. Are you ready for this?
I think I am.
Do you think you can do it? All right, let's get started.
Oh, man. That's LaSalle volleyball. I know that. Is that? Oh, I'm going to say Lisa Mincer.
No, she's on the basketball team.
Oh, jeez, brutal. Okay.
Right.
Oh, I interviewed her, Morgan Zeckley, of the women's cross-country team. Also, very impressive runner. Yes.
Correct.
Oh, our very own, our LaSalle.
Do you not know his
team.
name, Jake?
Oh, yes, I do know his name. Actually, he just friend requested me on Facebook today. Rohan Brown.
I would have been really upset if you didn't get that one.
Oh man, I'm gonna say like Jason Baseball. I have no idea. Oh.
Can you at least name what sport?
Golf. That is
Okay.
PJ. I also interviewed him. Let me think. PJ Golf Club. I'm gonna go with that. something awesome.
You
We'll give you,
know.
yeah, we'll give you half credit for that one.
Oh, this is my boy, Fabian Bergman.
Very good.
Yep, okay. Ah, yes. Yes, this is another, I'm a big fan, women's swimming. This is Kelsey Jenkinson, straight out of South Africa.
Correct.
Oh, and Micaiah Owens, women's basketball. Oh my gosh, and it's like another great friend. I'm gonna have to say, Gal Fetterman. Oh gosh, who's that? Oh no. I don't know. Softball. Is that Allie Waddington?
That's not Allie Waddington.
It's not Allie Waddington. Oh geez. Oh gosh. Alicia Cropper.
Yes.
I'm going to be so sad when
Wow,
she's
you
gone.
were just really on point with that one. Look at that smile.
Yeah,
Come on,
no,
you know that smile,
that's
Jake.
a winning smile. Tom McLeod. What I get? Oh geez. Jen something.
Not Jen. No.
Colleen Kempf?
Yes! Yeah! That was very good. Okay, all right.
Oh man, and this is the legend. This is the
Yes,
legend. She
yes,
is
Jake.
immortalized. I'm gonna have to say that is Kelsey Haycock. Love you, Kelsey.
Last one.
Oh man, you
Come
know
on.
what? Every time I see him around campus with that beard and that baldness, you know what I'm gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say? I'm going to say the Nico Greco.
The Nico Greco. Yes, that's
correct.
You actually. I'm
You
gonna
did
be.
pretty well.
I'm gonna be honest. You did a lot better than I thought you were going to do.
You did. You did.
What are you
I did
doing?
not have that much faith in you, but good for you, Jake.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. So what are you hoping to get out of this semester with SportsLine, Jake?
With this semester with SportsLine, I want to see some more action news. To be honest, I want to see us getting out there on the field, on the court.
I like
want
it.
us to be out there.
Some
But-
sideline reporting, maybe.
Exactly. It's possible sideline reporting. But more than anything, I just want men's basketball to do something big coming out of this this bit of a slump.
Well, that's some pretty good things to check off your list for this semester. So
Absolutely.
that took some turns. Let's look to the future. Audrey Brush gives us this week's marquee matchup. Check it out.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Audrey Brush, here to talk about the upcoming men's basketball game against the Rhode Island Rams. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is taking place at the Ryan Center. The game will broadcast locally on Comcast Sportsnet and on SNY. The men are looking to have another successful game. They are feeling strong after their win last week against the Fordham Rams. They won with a score of 60-49. The men had a home advantage, so it was an exciting game with the Explorers gaining a 14-0 lead from the start. The men were happy with their performance. According to their coach, they were working on defense as a result of the last game. Since they did not play the best defense that game, they wanted to come out strong with it this past week. With the help of two key players, the boys were able to keep it up and win the game not by a small margin. Sophomore Jordan Price was an all-star in the last game. He scored a team high of 15 points and has paced the team in scoring overall 16.9 points per game. Jordan is currently second in the Big Five scoring. He is the first player in the Atlantic 10 with multiple 30-point games this season. He is the first Explorer to have two 30-point games in a season since Rodney Green had two in the 2009 and 10th season. He is the first LaSalle sophomore with two 30-point games since the 2003 and 4th season as well. He has been vital to LaSalle, sometimes wavering offense this season, and will continue to be a key player. Senior Jarrell Wright played an awesome game as well. He was pivotal to LaSalle Explorers that night, helping them get their quick start. Jarrell even became one of 11 Explorers to score 1,200 points and grab 700 rebounds in a game on December 23rd at Hofstra. He is now 15th in the LaSalle history to do this. Go Jarrell, keep up the good work for the game to come. The boys are relying on you. Now that we've touched on some individuals, let's see what aspects of play the team needs to accomplish in order to secure a win at the game in Rhode Island. It is awesome that the boys have a few stars on their team, but teamwork is the best way to assure a win. They must pay attention to their efforts on defense because this is a weak spot. Also, they need good encouragement to fellow players and need to stay open to allow plays to be made. They also must work on their offense. Their defense has been carrying them through this year, but now, to be an unbeatable team, they need their offense to step up and really work on making shots and less turnovers. Once this gets better, there's no telling what they can do. The Explorers must work together to make some pivotal gains. All the action and excitement starts this Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rhode Island. For SportsLine, I'm Audrey Brush, and as always, go Explorers.
Well, that just about wraps it up for this week. If you can't make it out to see the marquee matchup, make sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Be sure to keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by following us on Twitter at SportsLineLTV. We post game updates and sneak peeks into the upcoming show.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions about the show on either website.
For Eddie, Jake, and our entire SportsLine team, I'm Madison Elliott.
And I'm Brendan Rigney. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the game.